It's you versus you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get confused on that. That's why you can't really pay attention to like who you're competing with. Because sometimes God may give you a gift where if you get too caught up competing with other people, yeah, you'll go down as a legend, but you don't maximize
Your
your legend.
If you actually took time to learn about how incredible you were, nothing would ever stop you.
This ain't the Kelsey I'm used to. Like something just looks. It don't look like the anger and the fire is there. It almost looked like, to me, it looked like the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant there last year and they lost to the Raptors. Golden State just looked like they was this team that was so good for so long, and they've been winning so long. Their seasons are their off seasons are shorter than everyone because they're playing the last game.
Right.
All of these things, it just looked like they were tired. With like the fatigue of winning set in. So I feel like for Travis Kelsey, the fatigue of winning looked like it set in. Then you got
And that's a quotable.
Paris Hilton.
You got to write that down. The
But fatigue of winning.
fatigue of winning.
Remind me, let me put in my notes. I don't know.
But then those other people who say like to go all the way back to where we started with that quote, with that text message, the fatigue of watching winners.
Yeah. It's the fatigue. So it's fatigue both ways.
Right.
Somebody gets fatigued from watching winners, and then you have some winners that you get fatigued from doing it so long. I've never had the fatigue of winning, but I understand from when I used to train to basketball. I'm out in Florida with Coach Troy. And to wake up every morning knowing I had to go through this pain but I knew I was like, man, this is how you do this is how you do that. So now imagine somebody who's been doing it for so long. That's when they say this phrase right here. It just ain't in me no more. When they say that, that's what that means traditionally. It is a fatigue of winning. Like you're tired of the grind. You just want to kind of relax. He has Paris Hilton now. That's going to open up. Not Paris. No, whatever.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Right.
That's going to open up all types of different.
It already has. I mean,
you see. So before you didn't have any of that. You
right.
probably just focused on football. You played football. Your brother was in the NFL at the same time, so it was just football. Now you with I don't even know, what do you call a mega star, world, pop star, whatever. You with that's a whole different category. That's
the
bigger
pop
than,
star. Yeah.
that's bigger than hip. Like hip hop ain't pop. Like pop is a different dynamic. You're talking
She's a
about
billionaire. Right. She's a billionaire.
yeah. So you're dealing with that now. You going to dinners you didn't go to before. You going to red carpet event. All of these different things where you probably would have been in the gym. So now you trying to juggle that, and your face is more out there than it was before. You're trying to juggle all that, and then it's not like you're 21. You already been played in the league a long time. You got your league money. She has a good amount of money. It isn't like he's pressing to continue to play. So when all that happens, the fatigue of winning, sometimes people just it's like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I remember listening to Dana White talk about Conor McGregor after the Mayweather fight, and he made whatever amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's really hard to train when you're getting out of silk sheets.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever watch Creed? I don't know what Creed they on now.
I think they're on like Creed 3. You know, it's funny. I've never seen any of the Creeds.
Okay, so watch them. I think this was Creed 2. I watched
He
it.
made it big, right? Or something like that.
Huh?
Like he made it big and he made all this money. And is that the one with Jonathan Major?
Nah, this the one before that then. This the one before that.
Uh-huh.
So I was watching it on a plane because Inky was talking about it. Inky John, shout out to Ink. He was talking about it, and he had took something from the movie. So this is the first time I watched it. I'm watching it on a plane. I can't remember where I was going. But I saw something different that was powerful. So when he got Rocky back in his corner to train him for this fight, by this time I think he's in L.A. He's at like a nice gym in L.A. And so he had Wood Harris was the other trainer. So they were gonna, train them together. And so he was like, essentially, when does training camp start? And just like, oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go here. And paraphrasing, Rocky essentially said what you said, but just like, oh no, we got to get you uncomfortable again. That's what he said. So he was training him in like the desert. It was weird. It was like a boxing ring in the middle of the desert with like a bunch of Street Fighter dudes. And the moment broke him, but it prepared him for the fight because you got these people you about to spar against who don't care anything about any of this stuff. They're not doing this getting paid millions. So when he was out there, he was getting beat up at first, where he had to get that dog back, that hunger back. So it's the same kind of thing you talking about. So if anybody go watch Creed, whichever one it is again, you'll see the scene that I'm talking about and the analogy I'm talking about. He literally told him, we gotta, like we said on the last one, gotta get back to the basics because you're so used to doing it here, yeah. Like it's hard. You're not as hungry anymore. You probably won't stay in the gym as long. You're not gonna be as focused because you're going back to silk sheets. You're going back to a top chef. You're going back to all these different things. It's only one person that I know. Well, probably more than one, but one person I know of that could do that, and that was Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather.
And that's so you actually just jumped into my head. By the way, Rocky 3 with Apollo is when he talks about you lost the eye of the tiger, right? And so I
Oh,
think Creed played on it, but that's what makes people like Ronaldo,
mhm.
Messi, Mayweather, um, you know, uh,
Kobe.
Kobe, MJ, LeBron, the fact Curry, Durant, the fact, I mean, you have to realize what these guys are sitting on and to have the will, like, you know, let's say 70 years from now, 70 years from now,
Hmm.
there's a handful of names that are going to be talked about. Handful of names. The fact that these guys can have already done what they've done and still maintain that thing like they have nothing. Like LeBron's doing this stuff at 40 years old. I mean, it's crazy. He's a billionaire. He's the way he's playing at 40 years old. I mean, he could, I mean, it's just, I'm amazed, man, by people like this. Because, sometimes a person gets to one of the toughest things, man, is when people like get like a little bit of success and you just can't tell them anything. And then you have people that have literally achieved icon status and they still talk about what Steph Curry's workouts are like at the gym and how crazy he goes. And to be that unicorn and to play with that unicorn, I like to play with that Tom Brady. Like that's a special. I think that's more important. I think playing with those people is more important if you learn from them what you should learn. In some ways, it's more important than a championship. Now, I know that you can get a champ. I know there are people who land on amazing teams and get a championship.
Hmm.
But in whatever field you're in, if you have the ability to play with an icon,
Hmm.
that's why when a Kobe passed as early as it, like that, he was like that next icon that was gonna go and mentor you know what I mean, like that whole situation. I think that was one of the things that made that conversation so difficult, is because you think about all the things that could have been gained from the insane amount of wisdom that he had. You talk about giving your people give their flowers now, and I think we're so critical of these people. Sometimes we just don't stop and just give them their flowers.
Yeah. That's why I give Jalen Hurts his flowers. He's a good quarterback. Yeah.
Do you
But,
think? Okay, so he had a really good season.
yeah,
Do you think it's premature to give him his flowers?
nah, he's a winner. It's not premature. He's a winner. Like, he's a winner. You gotta give him his flowers. He's a winner. He's
I mean,
always,
okay, so C.J. Stroud had an incredible first year.
you give him his flowers for that.
Okay, second year a little bit.
I mean, you can give him his flowers. Like, man, he had one of the best rookie seasons of all time. But Jalen Hurts is a champion, so you have to address him as such. He's a champion.
Okay.
You gotta address him. He's a champion. Gotta address him as a champion. He's a champion. He's a championship quarterback.
He is
MVP.
a champ. He is a champ.
Not deny that. He is a champion. Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, you said something too. It hit me. You was talking about, and this is kind of switching back to basketball. You was talking about Kobe.
Yeah.
Do you know Kobe taught LeBron how to win?
From the Redeem team. I remember there's that, yeah, because he was out hanging out, something like that, and Kobe
Yeah,
was like,
Kobe taught him how to win.
yeah,
Kobe taught LeBron how to go from a great player who can win games to that what they Pat the Rock used to say, like outwork, where you go to this whole different level, which is the irony in it is that the difference between that next level is so small. Like
yeah,
people, but it's a consistent thing. It's like doing something consistently that's small, just repetitive, and then you get your compound interest. So in the Redeem team, what was so crazy about that is when they was coming back into the hotel, they seen Kobe going to work out. They didn't know what this was. Mind you, before this, they had lost in the '04 Olympics, but the young dudes didn't play that much. And then they had lost in the FIBAs, right? And so here they are. They're going out. I think they just came back in from partying. Kobe, they see Kobe in like his whole workout or something. Where you going? Oh, he's about to go to the gym. He's about to work out. They haven't saw that before. So what he did was he taught them, this is how you become what you see me.
right.
And the only person who didn't go to work out was Carmelo Anthony. He was like, man, that's too early for me. Now I want to paint this picture for you. If you look at the other three people that went,
LeBron,
D Wade and Bosh,
Wade, and who?
Chris Bosh.
And Bosh.
I think it was Bosh. LeBron, 4 rings. D Wade, 3 rings. Bosh, 2 rings. Melo has no ring. So it's the smallest thing. Like, it was just, like Carmelo, even it was videos back when he was working out when he was Denver. Carmelo was like, man, I'm only in the gym an hour a day. Pretty much saying, like, you don't need to be in the gym longer than that. Right. And no offense to Carmelo, but that's why you didn't get a ring. That's what you're all-time great because God gave you the talent and you did work on your talent. But if you would have had that extra thing, we don't
So
know.
you're the best. You're one of the best in the world, but that next level,
Is you versus you.
yeah,
And a lot of people get confused on that. That's why you can't really pay attention to like who you're competing with. Because sometimes God may give you a gift where if you get too caught up competing with other people, yeah, you'll go down as a legend, but you don't maximize
you're
your legend. I liken it to you ever seen Troy, the movie Troy?
movie, yeah.
Okay, do you remember what Achilles' mom told him?
Um, no, remind me.
So essentially, Achilles didn't want to go to the war.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to go. But his mom pretty much told him, like, hey, if you don't go to the war, like your name will ring bells for a couple of generations, right? And so in that moment, if we parallel this here, in that moment, he doesn't go to the war, his destiny of what it could have been never gets captured. We wouldn't even know of the name Achilles. I don't know if the story is real or not, but we wouldn't even know of Achilles. He would have, probably been a good dude in the community or whatever. People would have known him. By 4 generations later, they probably would have said, "Who's my great great granddad or whatever?"
Right.
You wouldn't know. But if you go over there
You'll
where
die.
your destiny is set, and you reach your legend. You're not competing against nobody. You competing against your legend. You competing against your gift. You're competing against your story. You're competing against what God ordained you to do. If you go compete against that, then the sky's the limit. So I feel like bringing it back to Carmelo. Carmelo had more in the tank, in my opinion, because he was that nice.
No, he's unbelievable.
He was that good. Carmelo was that good. When he was in New York, Carmelo really wasn't even in shape like that.
Yeah.
He wasn't even, so just imagine, we never seen LeBron out of shape. The most
Right.
we seen LeBron was when he got too strong and
Right.
it started to hurt his back, so he had to come down and weight. We never seen Kobe out of shape.
Right.
We never seen Jordan out of shape. Melo was out of Luka Doncic right now is out of shape. That's why Luka Doncic isn't in Dallas anymore. Because even though as the fans we're looking at how great Luka is, how great of a player Luka is, which he's all world. Yeah, Luka, you all world, but you probably looking too much to your left and right. Do you know what you could be if you took this thing serious? If you stopped drinking beers after the game, if you really tapped in and focused and like they say, I'm not there, so I don't know if it's true, but they said Luka is one of those players who play to get in shape. Come in out of shape and you play once you start playing, you're in shape. What would it be like if you came into the season in shape? You got to the finals and you ain't even really tapped into who you could be yet. You know what I mean? So that's another person. If Luka could either go the Carmelo route. No offense to Melo, you still had a hell of a career, Hall of Fame, but he could either go the Carmelo route, or you could go Bron, Kobe, Jordan route. It's your choice. Either way, you're gonna be a legend, but you'll know at the end of the day, I didn't leave nothing on the table. Like you'll feel a little bit different. You'll be received a little bit different. Like LeBron, when he done with this basketball thing, and Carmelo's already done with this basketball thing, they're not. It's not. Ain't the same.
There's a man named Jim Rohn. You know Jim Rohn, and you know you like him anyway.
You have to watch out.
You know what? That is right. That's
You have to live within. If it's not in, then it won't come out. You have to listen up.
Jim Rohn's the master. He's
Yeah.
the master. You know you love him. He says your life will either be an example or a cautionary tale. And that's so deep because that's exactly what you just described. Because if I was, let's say you were my agent
Mm-hmm.
and you said to me, look, you have two, you make, congratulations. You made it to the NBA. Yeah, well, welcome to the table. So now here's the thing. Just want to just hip you to this, right? Based on what you do with these decisions and your work ethic, you're either going to have a Carmelo legacy or a Kobe LeBron legacy. That's a powerful question. Now, and look, if Carmelo ever sees this, you know, like it'd be like, what? But you can't argue with anything you just said. You can't argue with anything you just said. And I think deep inside of him, there is that question mark of, man, what if I would have?
Yeah.
But that time, that clock kept moving. And now
Yeah.
you gotta do what you got. And I think that's everybody. I mean, we talking about Carmelo, man, but you know, you just gave me perspective on just everything, you know? Because the compound of the additional work works in your favor, and the compound of the lack of work also has its outcome. Because either way, 3 to 5 years is coming anyway.
Yeah.
Remember.
One of my favorite quotes, saying this in well, I'm not gonna say well, it's just one I remember. Shout out to Ninth Wonder. So North Carolina Central, they used to do something. This before I got to college. And Coach Lavelle Moulton used to bring, I guess, speakers in, and he brought Ninth Wonder in. It's a video on YouTube. And he said this quote, can't remember the author, but he was like, chance favors the well prepared, right? So if you think about that just from a legacy standpoint, like there's no guarantee that LeBron would be who he is. There's no guarantee that Kobe, Jordan, or whoever would be who they are. But chance favors the well prepared. And if you look at LeBron, he's well prepared. He gives himself every opportunity to be what we know him to be. And so I think people should take that in. Like chance really favors the well prepared. Like you can't necessarily control the outcome as much as people say you can. You really
Right.
can't. But chances are, if you do the work, if you do the things, it's either gonna go your way because it was meant to go your way, but it's gonna go. Let me pause it. It's gonna go your way and then based upon the work, you're going to hit this other level. Or if it really wasn't meant for you, there will be lessons extracted from it, and you'll be able to take that to something else, and then it kind of restarts, and then chance favors the well prepared if you're doing the correct thing there. So it's one of the two. So if chance favors the well prepared, you might as well be prepared
Might as well be prepared.
either way it goes, because it's gonna work. Either it's gonna work because you're where you're supposed to be, or you're not where you're supposed to be, and there's gonna be some lessons that you get for where you're supposed to be. So either way, chance favors.
There's this mathematical um, equation, well, theorem called prisoner's dilemma, and it says two people are arrested, and you're both taken in separate rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and the question is, should you cooperate or not cooperate with the
Mm-hmm.
police during the interrogation?
Mm.
And it's like the answer is you're supposed to always cooperate, 100% of the time. Because if you don't cooperate and the other person cooperates, you're screwed. So you always cooperate.
I don't know where this going, but hey,
No,
James,
I'm just saying that's
you cooperate there.
that's the theorem. That's the theorem. So what you're talking about with chance favors the well prepared is like no matter what, you have to be prepared. Like you may never get in the game, or there is one whatever the game is, business, sports, whatever. But it is also possible that the people ahead of you could get hurt. You have to remember, like, look at what Tom Brady did with his opportunity. You remember, starting QB got hurt. He was ready. There was, and that was it. Never look back. Never look back. Never look back. And what you chance favors the well prepared. That's a word. That is a word right there. Because in any industry in the world, that is a word. There's nowhere in your life where that's not a powerful statement.
I think the entire quote is chance favors the well prepared mind. I think that's the entire quote. Chance favors the well prepared mind. You know, most people take a word off of a quote, but it's still,
It's all
doesn't.
good. That was a message for the night. Chance favors the well prepared.
Chance favors the well prepared. So be
Yeah.
prepared. I'm prepared for when Cam Ward get drafted. Number one get drafted. Number one, my nephew. Yeah,
We're gonna be so excited to see the family photos.
that's my nephew. When I was in Miami, matter of fact, my sister Tamia seen him in Miami. Then when I went out there and they played, I went to the Virginia Tech game. People don't know that game happened on my birthday. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's the game. Remember they caught the touchdown at the end, but they said it was
Oh
no
yeah,
touchdown.
yeah.
I was there in the flesh, James. It was crazy. I'm real superstitious. Marquise had to go sit over there. He was. I don't know what's going on. You can sit a row down, sit a row over. Don't look this way too much, brother. I don't know what's going on with your energy right now. So I'm sitting there talking to some Virginia Tech fans. They over here talking, oh yeah, y'all about to kill us. Y'all about to do this and that. Y'all about to beat us bad. Cam Ward fumbled the first time. I was like, all right. Then we took the lead, and we was about to put it on him. And they called a penalty on us, and Cam Ward threw the pick. I'm in there stressing. I'm like, all right, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. We come back. James, I don't think you understand. When that last play happened, dude from Miami, Zay Horton come out with the ball. The crowd going crazy. Oh! Next thing you know, the whole Miami team run on the field to celebrate. Next thing you know, the whole Virginia Tech team run on the field celebrating. Everybody like this. What's going on? Do you know when they went to the booth review? I'm so used to them doing Miami dirty. I'm like, man, these dudes that lost on my birthday. I was like, I know this didn't just go down like that. I know this did not just. I flew out here in a hurricane, and this how y'all gonna do me? I said, this is crazy. I was so nervous, James. I didn't even. You know how people would take their camera out and record for the moment.
Yeah.
You think I recorded the moment? I recorded after the moment. Once they said no touchdown, then I pulled my camera out. It was I was like, man, y'all not about to get me on camera looking sad, cause. But I seen my nephew. He went crazy. That's my nephew, Cam Ward. He's and they robbed him on a Heisman Award too. They robbed him. I know they gave it to Travis Hunter. I don't care about that. They robbed Cam Ward. They saw what Cam Ward did the entire year. against each and every team that stood his way.
Politics.
Couple games wasn't too good. Georgia Tech, and then I think it was maybe the only one that he just was like, But outside of that, they didn't want to give Cam Ward the award the whole season. They didn't want to give it to him. It don't matter what he did.
He was
Like
never even really in any major media conversations. I mean, he
no,
was, but it
every
always go back
game,
to Travis. Yeah.
every game he played, like so. When we came back from Virginia Tech, people was like, "Oh, this was his Heisman moment." Then when we came back from Cal, oh, that was his Heisman moment. Then I think we had another one. Then we played Georgia Tech. Oh, Louisville. This is his Heisman moment. Then we played Georgia Tech. I remember before that drive where he fumbled, the announcer's like, "Oh yeah, if Cam Ward wants to win the Heisman, this is his moment." I was like,
I
"Why
mean,
he the only person that gotta have a moment every game? Everybody else get one, two moment, one
one
moment.
moment. Yeah.
He gotta
You got
have."
to prove himself because isn't that crazy? Again, goes back all the way back to what we said before. It's all subjective, but
Whatever.
he he was not getting the Heisman.
He was not getting the
He was
Heisman.
not getting the Heisman.
Just not getting it.
It
It was
just not
nothing he
gonna
could.
happen.
He had to go. Miami had to go undefeated,
Undefeated.
and which is crazy because the Heisman doesn't necessarily have to go to the undefeated state, which is crazy. He had to go undefeated, and he literally had to play flawless.
Correct.
Travis Hunter was doing this, and they was losing games.
Right.
He scored 2 touchdowns. Did this? They down 21. Come on, come on. Miami lost. Miami lost 2 games on the season. Well, I'm gonna count the regular season. That played that Pop Tarts Bowl. Cam Ward played the second half. In the regular season, I think Miami lost by a total 2 games by a total of like 8 or 9 points.
But like you said, it's 2 takeaways. Well, there's a bunch of takeaways, but one of the biggest things, everything's subjective.
That's true.
That's a big takeaway.
That's true.
And regardless, Heisman or no Heisman, Chance favors well prepared.
Yeah, he prepared for this
And
draft.
I mean, he did everything. He did everything he was supposed to do. The moment happened. He didn't get it, but you never know what the next opportunity is going to be. Bigger than all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He NFL. I might get a Cam Ward jersey, and he not even coming to the Commanders. I probably would never wear it.
Yeah. But
I might.
as being that your family, you should
Yeah,
be
it's my nephew. Gotta show my nephew some love.
100%. Gotta support him.
Yeah, if you go to the Miami post on Instagram, I'm always on there. Nephew, I see you, man. You doing your thing. Yeah, my nephew, man.
You'll get some tickets or something.
Yeah, for sure. We throw up the canes. You know how we do. And look, if y'all looking for me, August 31st, Miami versus Notre Dame in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium. Chances of me being there, chance favor the well prepared. I'm gonna be well prepared to be there. So if you want to go, you don't gotta let me know. Just go to Miami. I'm gonna be there. Hard Rock, August 31st. We play Notre Dame. They just lost in the national championship, but they coming to Miami. And my boys, they working right now in the off season. I'm looking at the videos. They put in work. I be giving them motivational quotes under the page, and they be retweeting it because they know, Unc be proud of them. So my nephews, they doing their thing. So it's always go Canes too. Yeah.
If you actually took time to learn about how incredible you were, nothing would ever stop you. See, the definition of sight is the faculty or power of seeing.